minds like us, growing in years, with a goal to make a change of the world around your race. They've been able to set the pace.
Hello and welcome to your favorite program, Youth Engage. In this episode, we shall be profiling a woman with sets of celebrated firsts. We present to you the first female president of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA. She has made valuable contributions to the National Council of Women's Society, where she is a member. She was born to the late Akija of Akija Ijebu, Oba Alademeri in Ogun State, Oba Luke Ademola Adekogbe, and mother, late Mrs. Elizabeth Adekogbe in the 40s. And worthy of note is that both her parents were teachers. The young lady of many firsts attended secondary school in Ibadan and later studied at what was known as Yaba Higher College in those days. She then travelled abroad to study law at the University of London. She returned to Nigeria and since 1970, she has been a practicing lawyer as the head of Priscilla O Kuye Chambers, a profession she has made good success at by becoming the first female MBA chairman in Nigeria. This feat remained unrivaled till date, just as many of her testimonial court cases. She became the first regional vice president of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, for Africa in Nigeria between 1979 and 1981. On the international scene, where she is a member of the International Bar Association in 1993, she was elected vice president of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. She is the General Secretary of the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce and a member of the Confraternity of Christian Mothers. A devout Catholic woman, she is the president of the Archdiocesan Laity Council, Lagos, and for over 10 years been representing Nigeria as member Pontifical Council for the Laity in Rome, and most interestingly, been married for over 50 years to a devout Muslim, late Chief Omowale Kuye. Welcome to the world of a reputable justice administrator, wife, mother, and a true role model. A woman born by two teachers, but grown up to raise a family of lawyers. We present Dame Pricilla Kuye. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Ma, between your time as a lawyer, what qualified you to become the first female president of the Nigerian Bar Association?
Well, let me say that I served my branch, the Lagos branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, when I qualified. I was attending the meetings, monthly meetings. You have to be active, to rise to such a active in your branch, Nigerian Bar Association. And I'm a member of the Lagos branch of the Nigerian Bar Association. I was very active there, attending monthly meetings, doing the assignments, what they assigned to me. Whether it's small or big, I did my best. And I was elected to some posts at the Lagos MBA of the Lagos branch. I think I was their financial secretary. I held some other posts. I was on the executive. I held some other posts. It's a long time now. I can't remember everything. And then they sent me to the national body. It was the Lagos branch of the MBA that sent me to the national body. I was financial secretary, third vice president, second vice president, fourth vice president. I went through the mill. I served. Because you have to serve anywhere you are, you serve. And I wish our senators and House of Reps people, I wish they were serving Nigerians and working for the common good. You serve. And then when people realize that you are hardworking, I contested and won all those positions. First vice president, I contested with 2 men and won the position of the first vice president. And then God made me the first male president of the Nigerian Bar Association in 1992. So you said, what qualifies one? You have to be active at your branch. You have to attend meetings, attend national conferences, and so many other things, and work hard. Whatever assignment you are given, you do it. But I think God assigned me to that position. I don't think you can get anything except God allocates it to you and say, look, my child, this is what you are going to be. So I think God wanted to give me that honor. That is why I became the first female president of the Nigerian Bar Association. And it's a very hard job because we have so many branches, so many. And you have to oversee all those branches in Nigeria as the president of the NBA. And then you have to be a watchdog of the society. You know, if anything goes wrong in the society or the human rights of people are being trampled upon, you have to speak out against any bad thing that the government may do, you know, like not obeying court orders and various other things like that. We praise them too when they do good things. But look at what is happening in the country now. The government is not obeying all the court orders. And I think they should. It's the rule of law we are following in this country. They ought to obey court orders. Because we don't want a banana country. We don't want a banana country where law and order will break down. So the government must show the good example by obeying court orders and promoting the rule of law in this country. They are not doing that now.
Ma, being the first female president of the General Secretary of Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce, we heard that your experience was not an easygoing thing. Can you share with us?
Well, you know, in some situations, the men don't want a woman to be the president or to be head, because the men believe that, well, they are the head of the family. Yes, they are the head of the family. But I was on the board of the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce for years. And I became their president. I became president for about 4 years. But it was a bit, I didn't become president when I should have been president. You understand? Because there had never been a woman who was president of the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce. And maybe the men didn't want a woman. Some men, not all, did not want a woman to be president of the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce. So, but by the grace of God, I became the president. So whatever whatever you want in life, I think you have to persevere at it. You'll have odds, you'll have problems and trials, but you have to persevere at whatever you are doing. And as I said, if you pray at one time or the other, you know, like one archbishop, I'm a Catholic, he says some prayers, God answers them jet speed, and others, tortoise, slow. So you pray, but I know that God answers all prayers. So I became the president. It was the will of God. Though it wasn't at the time I should have been. If it was a man, that man should have been president at least years before me.
Ma, many young people believe that to go very high in the legal profession, you have to belong to a secret court. Now, how true is that in your own view?
I don't think it's true. Me, I'm a Catholic. The Pope honored me in 1981, St. John Paul II. I don't mix my religion with cultism or with anything. 100% worship of God is what I do. I don't believe that you have to. I'm a life bencher as well. You know, I'm a life bencher, and that is the highest you can reach. I'm a life bencher. So, look, if you have deep faith in God and a personal relationship with Him, deep personal relationship with God, and that's what you children should strive for. You know, the Bible says, we are in the world, but we are not of the world. So, all young people must strive to make sure they are in the world, but they are not of the world. You must make sure that you have a deep relationship with God. And that's what I've tried to do all my life. But my parents brought me up with my mother. I remembered, you must go to Mass. You must go to church every Sunday. Even during the week, go to Mass, because we are Catholics. So, and I've tried to bring up my children like that. You know, if you have a personal, deep relationship with God, you pray every day. You know, God, when you please God, you take an inch, God will give you a mile. That is the sort of God. He's so generous, kind, and compassionate. If you strive to obey His commandments and to please Him, you will find that whatever you want in life, He will give you. I don't say you will not have obstacles, so like the one I told you about the presidency of the Nigerian Chamber of Commerce and even the Bar Association. Because when I wanted to go for a second term, well, you see, the government wanted somebody else. They didn't want me. They said, as she's a human rights person, you know, she will continue to be a watchdog of the society and really follow all the aims and objectives of the Nigerian Bar Association. So the government wanted somebody else. When we were doing our national conference and having the elections in Port Harcourt in 1992. So anyway, things didn't go well. The election was stopped abruptly. So, and the military really disorganized the Nigerian Bar Association, the military. They said we were too strong, we were too powerful. Kuye is there. And the only person I fear is God. I don't fear any human being. So once my conscience is clear, I'm at peace with myself. So that's why I'm saying, look, if you have a deep relationship with God, all your trials and problems, God will help you to overcome them if you have faith in God. So you don't have to belong to a cult. I'm not a cult person. I'm a church person. And I'm active in so many things in the church. I'm a member of the Confraternity of Christian Mothers, you know. And the Confraternity of Christian Mothers, you have to bring up your children to be God-fearing. That is our main objective, to make sure that our children become God-fearing people. Then you help your church, you help the society by praying for your husband, children, and whatever the bishop, whatever they ask the society to do, we do it. God made me to start the confraternity in the Lagos Archdiocese and also at the national level. You know, for the past 35 years, we have been working on that. They had a parish, at the parish level, we had the Confraternity of Christian Mothers. But then, I think the Blessed Virgin Mary wanted the one of the diocese and the national, so that we can do more for the church. And the Lord chose me to do it, and we have done it, and it's very successful to the glory of God. So you see, if you are with God, a lot of things will be possible for you by prayers and fasting. So you don't have to be a cult person, and it's not good. I don't belong to any cult too, except the cult of God and the Catholic Church.
In this system right now, we feel that you have to steal so much to cover so much. And the youth think they favor the rich when they steal. What can you say about that?
Well, all these cases of stealing that is being reported in the newspapers, and of course there are some court cases, I think it's rather unfortunate that it's mostly the elite that are stealing, politicians that are stealing. I think it is wrong. It is very, very wrong. And some of them, they do plea bargain, and they will give part of the money, and then the case ends that way. But then there are delays in the court system, adjournments of cases and things like that. But in the end, I think justice will be done. You know, all these people that are stealing, I mean, look at the Kuye where they got, is it $40 million or $45 million? All these things are happening, but I think it is very, very bad that these things are happening. Because many of the cases are in court, but government is losing many of the cases. I don't know why. Whether the Ministry of Justice is not sending good advocates to prosecute those cases, I would not know as a lawyer. I think government is doing its way. They send a case to court. They are not there when the cases are to be conducted. They are not there. It's for the judges to see and for the lawyers to see that they present their cases properly, the prosecution. The prosecution should present the cases well in court so that they win their cases. But you see, if they don't present their cases well, they are going to lose. Because they have been losing so many. EFCC has been losing so many cases. So, they should make sure they brush up the lawyers and prepare the cases, get the documents, get the witnesses ready. I think it was last week in one case, The witness was not in court. I think it was the second time or so. So if you are going to accuse somebody of something, you must put your house in order. Your documents must be in order. Your witnesses must be ready so that you don't keep on having adjournments. It's the rich who steal so much money. The poor people will have no money to steal. I don't think they have money to steal, you know. So the rich people who are stealing, the cases are being taken to court. How can you be stealing the money that belongs to all Nigerians? You know, it's wrong. The money that should be used for a common good, for development of infrastructure, for building hospitals and schools and things like that, for paying pensioners, because it's so endemic. It is a terrible thing, corruption.
Ma, few people get justice in this country. What can you say about the justice system in this country right now?
Well, our courts dispense justice, and we have excellent judges in the magistrate court, in the High Court, in the Court of Appeal, and in the Supreme Court. Though there may be a few bad eggs, but I believe, and talking from experience, I believe that our judges dispense justice in accordance with the Constitution and their oath of office. They do. You know, there may be a few bad eggs because the society itself is corrupt. And some of it has to rub off on everybody, on all aspects of the society. But I believe that by and large, we do get justice in our judiciary, because if you go to the magistrate court and the magistrate gives you judgment that you are not pleased with, you appeal. Your appeal will go to the High Court. If the High Court judge gives you a judgment that displeases you, you lodge an appeal. It will go to the Court of Appeal. And if you are not happy at the Court of Appeal, you go to the Supreme Court. So you see, the system, there is justice. I believe that the judges are dispensing justice in accordance with the facts before them, in accordance with their oath of office, in accordance with the Constitution and the laws, the prevailing laws.
Of all the cases you had, which one was the most challenging and how did you succeed?
How can I remember that one now? I've handled so many cases, but I think one, because it has to do with human rights. This lady from Bendel State, she lost her husband, had 4 children, and then the family wanted to take away everything she had, including the house, the shares of the company, because the husband was a businessman. So she came to me and I went to court, you know, and I won my case. They couldn't take the shares from her. They couldn't take anything. You know, in Edo State, they have a system where even women are irrelevant. It is the boy. So they tried to take everything away from this woman, but I won the case. They couldn't take her shares. They couldn't take anything. And then the people wanted to go to the Court of Appeal, but till today they never went. So that gave me joy that at least this widow and her children, she would have something to raise her children, you know, to look after her children. And then there are companies that have incorporated, and many of them are big companies now, and that makes me happy.
Ma'am, Nigerian youths have this belief that if you're not rich and connected, you can't go far in life. How true is this? Like, considering the fact that you grew up in a wealthy family and you're successful.
I don't think, I would not buy that idea that you have to be well connected, though it may help. It may help. But I think if you have the intelligence, you know, you get your degree and you work hard. I know now there are a lot of graduates that are unemployed. That is, there's a high degree of unemployment in Nigeria at the present moment. But what I would have asked those graduates to do is to pull together. They can pull together, establish something, form cooperatives, get loan from the banks. And even government is trying to do a lot now for new graduates. I think there are some banks that are helping them. But what you have said, now that, I mean, if you have good relatives, of course they will help you. They will help you, but it doesn't mean to say that a graduate somebody who is hardworking, intelligent, will not get on in life. It is just not possible. Because you see, those talents will shine. They will shine, they will come out, and then they will recognize the person. So you don't have to have a godfather to succeed in life. I didn't have a godfather. God is my godfather. That's all I can say. God is my godfather. So, but the graduates now, the government said that they can go into agriculture and they are willing to give them loan because there are so many young people roaming the streets. So they should pull together and establish something. Like there's somebody who just finished the as a youth corper. You know, he just decided to register a business name and start a cleaning a service company. Somebody, you don't have to wait. Before, in the olden days, it was easy. A graduate will come from London. Your car is waiting for you. Your job is waiting for you. Yes, you are a senior civil service, a senior person. Immediately you get a job. But now, I think our universities are turning out so many people. So it's not easy. You have unemployment. But then the fresh graduates should pull themselves together and establish something. And there are so many things they can establish, even agriculture. Even look at people who are picking all these polythene water sachets and things like that, and making, you know, making money from it. There's so many things they can do. And it's the brain one uses. You have to use the brain. So as I say, a new graduate who uses his or her brain will be able to do something and make money.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, have you ever lost a court case?
Yes. You cannot win all the cases.
So how did you feel and how did you recover?
Well, I appealed because there's a system. You lose a case, maybe in the High Court, you can lodge an appeal to the Court of Appeal. If you are still not satisfied, you go to the Supreme Court. You can't win all the cases all the time. It's not possible. I won so many, but I lost others too. So that's what you do. You appeal. When you lose a case, you appeal. I hope that the higher court will sift the facts and maybe you win your appeal.
All right, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for watching.
Today, we engage them with passion, hoping to learn of their ways, to be legends of our future, so our feet on the prince.